For this final segment of Community Focus, we welcome Ann Fillmore, the Executive Director, and Jack Telfer, a longtime volunteer and the Community Investment Chair for United Way, to inform us about this year's United Way campaign. Welcome to Community Focus.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And this year commemorates a milestone for United Way in Midland County. So how long has United Way been helping Midland County residents?
Well, actually, if you can believe it, we're almost at 10 decades. This is our 95th anniversary year. So we're pretty excited about that. And what I like about it is, you know, the faces and the needs have changed, but the commitment to helping others is still there, and it's still strong. It's pretty awesome.
Well, the last couple of years have been transformative for United Way. Would you share with us more about why United Ways are changing, and then elaborate some on the United Way's role with the in the community, with the community impact?
Oh, sure. Yeah, actually, we've been transforming from a fundraising agency to a community impact organization. And what that means is we really need to have the greatest impact with the resources that are entrusted to us. So how we do that is we look at collective impact. We've been really good with funding agencies that have isolated impact. So they're transitioning families and individuals out of crisis and stabilizing them, but we need to really look at root cause and what's getting them in that situation in the first place. So that's part of our collective impact work. And so we realize that that's a focus area for us in the future. And also, you know, we know that the social issues are very complex. So it takes a more comprehensive approach. So part of our role at United Way is to convene and collaborate around those issues.
Well, United Way has also been actively engaging and listening to the community to determine what's important to residents of Midland County. So could you share some information about your work in that area?
Yeah, and actually it's called our Turning Outward work, and we've invested the last 2 years, if you can believe it. It's been through a couple campaigns now, because that's when we have our largest audiences, to really look at what are the greatest needs in the community and asking the community, what are your aspirations for the community, and really taking that to heart and combining public will, because we want to do this with the community, not to the community, with local data and national data to say what makes a thriving community. So that's been the basis for our work moving forward.
Well, Jack, you've been instrumental for nearly 15 years with United Way as a volunteer, and you've also been involved with the investment committee, of course. Would you share with our viewers the community level goals, the CLOs?
Well, what we've done is...
Or CLGs, I'm sorry.
Yeah, as Ann said, we have spent the last couple of years talking to the community. And what we really wanted to do is find out what type of community do we want? What do residents want to see? And then what we wanted to do is develop goals around those ideas to solve problems and make the community a better place. So we've come up with, we have 3 fundamental areas that we consider the building blocks of life: health, self-sufficiency, and education. And then under each one of those, we've developed a number of goals. One might be that everybody's ready for kindergarten or something along those lines. Each area has probably a half a dozen or so, and we are now moving our agencies towards that and asking them to think about developing their programs to address those issues that we say need to be solved to make Midland the kind of place people want.
So these are the kind of overarching goals that have been identified, and that trying to make sure that people have the same goal in mind as they're building the program.
It really gives us a North Star where to focus.
Yeah, and we've spent the last 6 months working with the agencies. Anybody who needed help taking programming and seeing how that would fit into one of those goals, they've received advice on that. They've also received help with outcomes from the Legacy Center. And through all that, we feel like now we have a direction towards things that can make a difference in the community.
Now, your involvement with the Community Investment Committee, you've been on that committee for a number of years. How has the investment process changed over the years?
Well, it keeps getting better. It's always been good. I want to make sure everybody knows that. It's always been good. But we used to fund agencies. And I believe we have, is it 27?
24.
24 agencies. Never can get that number straight. We have 24 agencies that have been partners with us for a long time, and we respect those partners and we want to continue to work with them. As we've moved forward, though, we've said let's look at programs, because then our donors can see exactly how their money's being spent. Under our new model, we're asking those programs to have outcomes around our community level goals. That way, when we look at how we fund these programs, we can say in a year or 2 years, in fact, we're looking at a 2-year model going forward, are we having an impact? Are we accomplishing what we said we were going to when we came up with this program funding in the first place?
So you have some new metrics.
Yep.
So how are your partners helping move that needle into the top priority areas?
Well, they definitely, with the idea of having outcomes now, we're going to be able to see, let's say under substance abuse, are we starting to change the culture there where we see a decline in the number of cases? Or again, we could take the kindergarten readiness. What is the percentage of children who are ready for kindergarten today versus 2 years from now? And we'll be able to, through the help of these agencies who are developing programs to solve these problems, we'll be able to see what kind of accomplishments we've had.
And you have kind of an overarching question to ask of each of the agencies and their programs, that how their programs are having a direct positive impact on the people they serve in relationship with a goal. So there's a...
And I think the key question is, how has your program made a positive impact in the life of that individual or that family? And believe it or not, you can measure that impact. And that's what we've been working with them on, is how can you demonstrate that because they took this program, their life is better.
So United Way is more than just a fundraiser. We think of that quite often. We've heard how the United Way plays a key role in identifying top issues of the community and then aligning with your agencies. Let's shift gears from achieving community impact to funding it. It requires a lot of resources. Does a community campaign in the fall assist with this completely, or how does that work?
Yeah, and actually our campaign kicks off September 12th and it runs through October 31st. And our goal is $4.9 million, which is the same as last year. And then these funds will be allocated through the investment process that Jack chairs. John, you can be a part of that too if you want. That we're always recruiting. That Jack chairs. So he will guide the panel and the process through 5 different panels to allocate those funds to the agencies.
Jack, the phrase "you live united," we've all heard it. What does that mean to you?
We live it.
That's right.
What does it mean? Oh my goodness. Well, I see it as being an opportunity to collaborate as a community to solve problems. I see it as also an opportunity for individuals to become involved and make a difference in the lives of others. I see it as a way of life in Midland, really. The United Way theme here resonates throughout the community. Everywhere I go, I know people who are involved, and living united just is our way of doing things.
Well, and many people in our viewing audience may wish to be engaged in the United Way. How would they do that?
Well, they can contact us at United Way, or they can go to our website, liveunitedmidland.org, or they could also, if they're looking for volunteer opportunities, they can go to govolunteernow.org, and they can select by subject matter or region, any place in the Great Lakes Bay region, so that's a great resource too.
And if somebody needs to know how to access services, how do they do that?
Yeah, for services, they can call 211, or they can also go online. We have an online portal that they can look up what services they need to. So, great resource.
And Jack, thank you for joining us and telling us about the United Way campaign. We're glad that you joined us for the September installment of Community Focus. We've enjoyed hearing some useful, informative, and educational activities that we can all look forward to in Midland in the coming weeks. If your club or nonprofit organization would like to join us at this table in months to come, you can find our application online at MCTV section of the city website, or visit MCTV in person to submit an application. We'd love to have you be a part of Community Focus.